Griot Talk podcast. I am your host, Enosh Christian.
And I'm Jacq Maliq. Now drop the beat.
Hey man, first and foremost, man, it's an absolute pleasure for me to have you here on the Griot Talk podcast.
Thank you, man. Real recognize real. One of my favorite quotes. I don't believe in accidents. We're in the right place.
I'm not above you. I'm not below you. I'm right beside you.
Hey, I like that.
Let's go on a journey.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Griot Talk podcast.
There we go. The journey is the destination itself, man. And we
Man.
here.
Whoa, whew, that shot.
I know.
Woo.
I was like, what? Only 1.5 ounces? Now I'm like, damn, 1.5 ounces. It's a whole nother number after you drink it.
Well, for the listeners, for the viewers,
Yeah.
please tell us about who you are, man. What do you do? Where you from?
Right. I'm Jacq Maliq from Fresno, California. Rare breed, man. I consider myself an artist, creative. I'm a musician. More importantly, that's my brand. I'm a guitarist. I rap over my own stuff. It's just been a real do-it-yourself process for the most part. But now I'm getting involved with other heads who are like guiding me to, elevate my craft to another level.
Well, like I grew up in Fresno.
Yeah, it was different being involved in skateboarding and music. I blended in just fine when I was on the football team and did all the sports and stuff like that. But I say like in the peak of my adolescence, I just started finding myself a little more.
Yeah.
And realizing that like the stuff that I'm insecure about is stuff that I should take pride in when it's something that I can't change. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I was blessed to be in a predicament where my dad's a rapper, my mom is just a walking canvas, she's art herself.
So it's in the family.
Definitely in the family.
Like the artistry.
The artistry for sure, because I look at my siblings and everything, and like without them even seeing how I do what I do, like they're already like making music. Like my little brother, he's great at illustrating. Like they're great at sports too. My little sisters, like my youngest little sister, she's riding a skateboard and she's on the roller skates and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, they definitely there's something in the air in our household. So I'm definitely breathing in a lot of that.
So when did you start like your music career?
Oh wow! Even like hearing the word career is like.
Is it a career? It's just a dream.
No, it's definitely a dream and like a career because I would say when I was 13, I had this idea of myself that I thought would be really cool and what I wanted. And then here I am at that age and I'm way cooler than that. And I'm also like I used to place a lot of people on a pedestal, and after seeing Superman without the cape like enough times, I started realizing like I have the same power as these people that I'm looking up to. I have the same capabilities and potential as these people that I'm looking up to. So let me try to tap into that. And as I did that, like sure enough,
that's where I'm at in life.
Yeah, man, it definitely happens.
Because right now, like it's just like you were saying, like, is it a career or just a dream come true? Because
damn, like honestly, when you're doing what you love, it don't even feel like a career. Like it's like definitely a dream come true because I mean, with all the costs that come with it, like spiritual taxing, like even the finances, like the stuff that comes with being able to hold yourself afloat while also like investing in your craft, it's very intimidating and it's not easy. And it takes a lot of broke days and a lot of uncertain days for you to even get to that one good day.
Yeah,
but,
I'm still.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that I can see myself eating off of now. Definitely. I'll leave it at that.
That's crazy. So has that journey been though? Has that journey been through fighting yourself through music, to where you from? So how's that journey?
It wasn't a linear journey for sure. Like I would say the spiritual path isn't like from point A to point B. It's like it starts and ends at the same place. But in the midst of this lifetime,
say that again.
I would say that the spiritual journey is not from point A to B. It's not linear. It's not even like a stock, like a volatile stock. It's not even like on a graph. It's like you start at point A and you end at point A, but your life is just this constant scribble across the whole paper in different areas and whatnot.
I'm in California, right?
Yeah.
It's like I've been dreaming about coming to California for so long that it started to become a dream. I'm like, yo, like I cannot wait like years to come to California. Like it's like California,
right.
like to me, like so California been seem like it's like another country, right? So here I am today. I met you through a good friend of mine, Cameron Henderson, right? So it's like, yo, it's like the energy, because Cameron Henderson left aviation school to go after his dream, to do music, clothing. He's still doing that, and he's still the same fire.
And I can definitely contest, because it's like, speaking of that same journey, like when Cam was on the come up, we went to the same high school. So like when he was on the come up with his Peacemaker brand, he was doing music. I was very involved in cinematography, and directorial work, and I even went to film school after like high school. But while I was in high school, I shot a documentary of Cam called The Cleaning Process, and it was the longest, most like substantial piece of work that I had done up to that point, especially being in high school. He like shot me some bread, like let me sit in on the studio sessions and catch everything. And then to think that seed that was planted that day, we're eating off the fruit of that tree right now, and it has nothing to do with what we started with. So the journey, I think my whole journey could even be summed up in that analogy right there.
Bro, like
crazy.
I love the journey. I love the journey. For me, I love the journey. Meaning, I grew up in a third world country. I came here. I went to high school, right? And then I went to aviation school. I spent 10 years of my life doing that.
Wow.
So that journey, like, I used to do skit in church. I used to do certain things in church. I knew I had, like, talent per se, but I wasn't too focused on that, because I'm like go to school. So after that journey, I'm like, yo, life make a shift. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like, you have to face it the music now. It's either you're gonna become that, or you're gonna keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I like that.
So it's like, for me, it's like now the part of the journey, man. It's like, bro, I smile doing the rainy day.
Yeah. I would say, man, like that right there. Whatever I'm not changing, I feel like I'm choosing, and that's just another way of me saying like everything with intention. But it took me holding myself accountable to the decisions that I had made, maybe on accident or unawarely, like earlier in my life. You know, like when your parents are raising you and you're out of school and whatnot. It's like there are a lot of other external factors influencing your life. These people are bigger than you. These people know more than you. But then you eventually become one of those people, and it's like, wow, now I'm in charge of my destiny. And it's like, I can either stay right here comfortable with what has been, or live somebody else's agenda, or read somebody else's script, or I could begin to write my own. Now, when you begin to write your own, you got to tear out some pages of somebody else's journey. And that right there, or not somebody else's journey, you got to tear out the pages of somebody else's teachings or whatever. And sometimes you just tear it out to write the same thing over again, but you got to tear it out. And that tearing out the page process was probably like my earliest 20s. I was like 200 miles away from home. I just moved out from Fresno to go to CSU Northridge just for film or whatever, thinking that I'm about to be the next what's his name?
Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, no, not yet. That was always instilled. See, that's the thing. It was always instilled. So I was on this camera journey at the moment, but since I was born, like 90s hip hop probably blasting through my mom's pregnant belly, like through my ears. I come out the womb with a microphone in my hand. My dad's rapping and stuff. So I'd always been around music, and for that reason, I didn't take it serious. Like, I didn't take my gifts as serious. I didn't value them. Like, I was in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, hitting every talent show. I was like rapping over the intercom, having like rap battles at recess and all that good stuff. But see, I think the small atomic change that led to larger exponential change came from when I visited my cousins.
Can you name one of those changes?
Yeah, definitely. I would say Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. It's a video game. And I got the video game. Me and my little brother got it after a summer of me visiting my cousins out in Simi Valley. Now, I would love going out to Simi Valley to visit them, but for one, it's like Southern California. I'm from dry-ass Fresno, so like coming out here was dope. But they were older than me, and I'm the oldest sibling. So these older cousins of mine had a great influence. They skated, they played guitar, they played drums, they sang, and then my dad did it too. So just subconsciously, I soaked all this stuff in, and then after playing Tony Hawk's American Wasteland and hearing all these different sounds, like different genres of music, all that different stuff, it's like, okay, like I started like I want to make this, like I enjoy this so much, like I wasn't thinking this as a kid, but like subconsciously I'm like, this is good, I want to contribute. So I asked my dad for a guitar. And he says, man, I'm not giving you no guitar unless you take some lessons or something. He's like, you think Jimi Hendrix just picked that up and became Jimi Hendrix? And I was like, no, you right. And then like the day later, I asked my grandma, I was like, can you give me a guitar for Christmas? And she said, yeah. So she got me that guitar. I was about like 13. And then my mom also had this bootleg Jimi Hendrix 1969 Woodstock CD. And
that was the biggest performance.
I didn't even know how big it was.
1969.
Bro, I couldn't even see the performance. It's on a
1969.
Exactly, man. And I'm born in 96. And Jimi Hendrix has a song called If 6 Was 9. So I'm like, yo, so for Woodstock to be the performance that boom, like just made everything like make sense, like this overwhelming.
That's what people are like, yo, he's a musician.
Yeah.
Yo.
So, and I mean, he looked like me too, and you look out into the rock world, I got made fun of.
You look like him.
Like, I didn't even mean like literally, I just meant like my skin, but I can feel that, because I used to have a shirt, and they're like, is that you on your shirt? But nah, it's like, oh my bad, where's that? I lost it.
No, 1969, let's talk about 1969.
Okay, 1969. So, let me see. So that's what I was saying. So I couldn't even see the performance, but like I was able to hear it, and when I was hearing it, I didn't know how Jimi Hendrix was making these sounds. Like he did the Star Spangled Banner, he made like an ambulance sound, he was like playing with his teeth and all that, but I didn't know that. So here I am with a broomstick.
Oh, you didn't? Because he didn't watch it.
I couldn't see it. I was just listening to it on my PlayStation. Yeah. So I'm just listening to it, trying to emulate it with a broom. I had a broom. My mom had left, and I had a broom. I was running around the house like, like just pretending I had a guitar. Then I finally got that guitar, man. Bro, like I went crazy after that. 13,
like Jimi Hendrix had an interesting life though. Like
he definitely did.
He served in the military and stuff.
Exactly. And it took me a minute to learn that, but as I grew older, I started to realize like early on, like this wasn't like a linear journey for anybody. It's not cut and paste or whatever.
But you cannot Google success.
You cannot. You can.
You cannot Google success. You cannot Google experience.
And you're not gonna be successful. You can Google it all you want, but that ain't gonna make you successful. You know what I mean? You gotta live your life and apply.
Wikipedia don't even do a good job. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
You know what I'm saying? So, bro, let's go 1969 though. Because I know you love 1969.
Let's take it there, man.
I know you love 1969.
I feel like I was born in the wrong year sometimes. Either that or I lived the past life.
Why you say that? Why you say you were born in the wrong year?
Because I got an old soul, man. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm really close to my grandparents or because
that's gonna happen.
I was always at my grandmother's house, man. As a younger one, me and my brother on my dad's side, we would always go to our grandparents' house when we were at work and stuff. But I mean, it wasn't like a close like relationship where we would talk a lot and stuff like that. I was just always around them, and I don't know, man. I think the music I was listening to, from the point of hearing Jimi Hendrix, like it just, like literally like being obsessed with Woodstock. Like
there's a lot of massive event happened in 1969. Like
politically.
The first moon landing.
Oh my God.
Apollo 11.
And I think that was a paradigm shift in culture. And I'm all for that. Like
that was the most historical cultural event.
Yes, and I feel like we were talking earlier, and I was saying like you weren't sure if what you said was too deep. And I'm like, nah, man. The macro and the micro are like hand in hand. It's like if you look at the structure of the universe, and then you look at the structure of an atom, two completely different size things.
No, but for real, because I was talking about Griot, right?
Yeah.
like the whole podcast.
Yeah.
So I had it created since like, cause I went to Haiti, like my grandfather passed, and I came back, like since March. I like way before that, like way like January. Cause for a long time, like I was telling you earlier, for a long time, like I've been feeling like yo, there's more I can do. Like there's more I can do because when I see certain things, I see colors. Like
synesthetic.
Cause it's like like I'm hands-on.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm a mechanic. I'm hands-on. Like I could put things with my hand and make it work. That's why I pick airplanes, right?
Yeah.
So like with Griot Talk, it's like that. It's something that it's like a canvas. Like, bro, it's like a canvas. It's like
It's wild.
It's like I went to the lab and I created.
Like, and you have to do that. It's like this. Your life is a canvas, but you can't. Have you ever tried erasing paint?
Bro, you can't.
You can't erase no paint.
Bro, that's the reason. Bro, that's the reason. That's the reason why like I'm trying to book a Griot in January, and then in March, Dave Chappelle dropped the Mark Twain Awards on Netflix. Oh, it was on YouTube before that.
Divine timing.
Yeah, so and I was watching it, and then you mentioned Griot, and I'm like, Dave Chappelle, what you know about Griot?
What you know? What you gotta say about this, bro?
Like,
You know it's woke, but it's like
it's a West African culture. What you know about that? And I'm like, yo, it's a legend. Like, I know you read books.
Yeah.
And then when I watched the Mark Twain videos, I'm like, oh, his mom.
Dave Chappelle's mother.
Yeah, like his mom was like teaching him at a very young age how to care for words. Me, like yo, I care for words a lot. When I see words, like I see colors. Like somebody says the wrong thing around me, I'm like, whoa.
That's beautiful, man. Because when you're sitting in the studio and you hear like certain sounds, it's like immediately like shapes and colors pop in your mind. If you're that kind of person.
So, bro, and then like, cause a griot, right? Like the way the shipper says, it's like a griot is in charge to tell a story of a village. Bro, that's profound, right? It's profound because same thing. A griot is a poet.
Yeah.
He's a historian. So I'm like, yo, if he says that and I have that, so it match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
and that common denominator.
Yeah,
man.
like I'm like, yo, and I'm Haitian, and a griot in Haitian culture, a griot, it's a plate of food. It's fried pork. It's plantain. And I'm like, yo, that's funny, because I'm Haitian and I'm African. Because most Africans come from Benin.
Yeah, so you got these two definitions, and it's like, well, we eating too, so it's like, yo.
So
I didn't even think about the eating part. Like, I forgot we was at a restaurant for a minute. Like, yo,
I'm saying,
it makes perfect sense.
So I'm like, you know what? Okay, Griot Talk is in better mood.
That intention was set.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I gotta work on this.
Keep nurturing that intention, bro, and I swear, it's like...
Because it's a process. Because Griot, like, the podcast is based on journey.
Yeah.
Like, it's like therapeutic for me, because I'm like, instead of writing a book, let me just create a podcast.
Exactly.
So I can tell you my story.
You can fit a lot into a podcast that, you know, people wouldn't sit down and read. So, like, you're making it easy accessible.
Bro, that's so much more, bro. That's so much more.
That's beautiful. I would say, like... No, go ahead, brother.
Because, like, the whole... Like the podcast, right?
Yeah.
A griot culture, diversity, storytelling, foods, travel, great conversation.
Yeah.
Right? So all that was a lifestyle. I was living it. I was traveling.
You're already there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now we just need a camera and a microphone.
And then now I'm like, yo, let me put my lifestyle and take a lot of it about the journey. So, but that journey took me 10 years, and I'm still working on it. And that journey might take me the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody who had never heard my music before, I walk into a room and they didn't know who I was. They didn't know if I was somebody or nobody, but I had their attention. And then after learning like just my personality and chopping it up with them, they're like, bro, like you're music, bro. Like you are music. Like your energy, your personality, like, that's musical. And here I am thinking that like the music is me, but no, like, oh wow, oh man, that's how it's done. Speaking
Bro,
of,
it's the Griot Talk, bro. It's the Griot Talk,
I
bro.
forgot it was the Griot Talk.
It's the Griot Talk, man.
All right, I forgot it was the
It's the
Griot
Griot Talk, bro.
Oh, this gonna make this conversation gonna go well.
Nah, bro. Let's eat. Let's eat, man. Let's eat.